Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Lise from Trelise, and welcome to my Patreon. And today it's gonna be a talk about a certain kind of project that lots of knitters really like to do, really like to do, but some others really struggle on making them. And I'm one of them, and I'm with the unpopular opinion of why I dislike making socks. I know, shocking, right? Okay. It's not that I really dislike them, I really like them, but also don't. And they're like just a few reasons for the pros and cons. And I thought I might share them with you. So, actually, I have a basket with project bags that are all socks, and I haven't finished them. And I'm actually really sad that I haven't finished them because I want my socks. I really like to wear them. Like, they're the best. So, first of all, my history with socks. So, I've no idea how many years ago, maybe 4, I did my first sock. It was a test knit for a kit that I was preparing. It was the Fergus sock by Anna. Now I'm not sure about her Ravelry name because she has changed it, but she's Yarnesty on Instagram. Yes. So at the time I proposed to her if she wanted me to do kits for it, but she hadn't test knitted. So I said, wow, it's perfect. I will make my first socks. And I did the first one and I was like so excited. It was amazing. It fitted amazingly. But then I had to do the second one, right? And the second one never arrived. Well, okay. It arrived after 6 months. Really bad. So then I decided that, you know what? I know because I saw it on YouTube that you can make 2 socks at a time. Yay! I was so happy. I was so pumped. So I asked Cécile from Like a Band Tricoté, which was a French retailer of mine, my first one actually. And she's like, just like family. And while I was there, it's like, please, Cécile, can you just teach me to do them 2 at a time? And of course, she did. And of course, I wrote down, how I did it. So I took little notes. And of course, it was vanilla socks, right? Right. And the trickiest part, of course, is the heel. And I learned how to do the afterthought heel, which was great for me because, first of all, I didn't have to learn a construction, just a bit something more difficult right in the beginning. But I needed to learn where to place that afterthought heel, right? Yes, right. So somebody told me, you measure your feet, how long it is, and then you do it 5 centimeters before the end of, that length. So I did that, but it felt always that my heel was always a bit too early on, that I shouldn't subtract 5 centimeters, but less. So I had a big experimental time of doing, just vanilla socks and where to actually place my afterthought heel. And that took me a while, and I actually now put it, I know that it's around the 19 centimeter mark from my cast on edge. I do them toe up usually. And I think my fit is 22 centimeters or something like that. So yes, it's just actually 3 centimeters before. So I think why I like that, it is not that the 5 centimeters rule is wrong. It's just that the afterthought heel doesn't have much depth. apparently. That's what I understood now with a bit more experience. So I really like it to be more at the end of my heel. Also, something that I had to learn is how many stitches I wanted my socks to be. And I remember the first socks that I did were 60 stitches all around, but that was just a bit too large for me. I really like my socks to be tight, so now I'm doing 56 or 58 stitches depending, but I prefer 56 for vanilla socks. So yeah, it's really really tight. So I think also that might, change where you should put your heel. So I was experimenting to find my own, I'm sorry, my own sockarithm. That's what I like to call it. So my sock algorithm, my sockarithm. And yeah, now I'm a bit more comfortable with knowing, what fits my foot. And that is 56 stitches for vanilla socks, or if I'm doing a pattern, something around to 56 or 58 depending. If it has a bit of cables, maybe 60 stitches, because the cabling is, making the sock tighter. And then do an afterthought heel. So I have tried other kinds of heels, and I really like the fish lip, but it's even less deeper than my afterthought, so it's not one of my favorite. I haven't done the, well, I actually have done the flap heel, that's how you call it, I think, when I'm, just following a pattern of socks, but I haven't done much of those. So yeah, I'm not really sure if I like that. I think I like this heel, but then I'm not very good at doing them two at a time. So if I'm knitting two at a time the socks, I need to separate them into other needles and, just do the flap heel on one and then do the other flap heel, which usually I'm kind of bored to do when it's the time to do the heel, even if I'm committed and I'm saying, yes, I'm gonna do that heel and it's gonna be perfect and all that, I'm gonna learn something new. And then the time comes and maybe I'm in front of the TV, or maybe I'm just going somewhere and I'm like, really, now do you want to really sit and read about this heel? Just go on, and you'll do it another time. And that's actually, what most of the time is going on. So okay, should I talk first for the pros and cons about sock knitting for me? I think I've already mentioned a few of them, or should I just show my webs? Okay, I'll show my webs, so then I can just do, a pros and cons in the end, okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sock projects. Well, it's the ones that I found. Oh, actually, there's another one. It's in the kitchen, I think. Should I go and grab it? Yes, I'll go and grab it. Okay, so here I am. So I have 5 projects that are socks. I don't count socks really as a project, because it's something that I'm gonna get with me, just to have something around with me. I might not even knit it. And it's a project that I just have around. But I don't consider myself like a sock knitter, that it's like my favorite or whatever. It's just something to cast on with a new color or something from the stash, to just move around a bit to the creativity. And yeah, I'm so bad at knitting socks. Okay, so let's start with the first one that I had in the kitchen. So it is this sock. It's a vanilla sock. This was a special colorway that I had done maybe 2 summers ago, and it came with this beautiful the little gray girl bag. And this was the energy saving mode colorway, because the theme, as you can see, was sloths, and it came with a beautiful marker no, Progress Keeper, that was a sloth. And that was my colorway Tinted Love. It was a Valentine's colorway. Yeah. Me and Valentine's Day aren't very good friends because I just think it's silly. It can be really romantic and cute, but I like to see this kind of things, you know, a bit sarcastically, and that's why I had made Tainted Love. I started this sock just to show how the colorway would turn out. And I remember, you know, I had cast it on as much and I took a picture, and then I wasn't supposed to actually knit the sock, but then I was like, oh, why not? I actually really like them. And then, so I knitted this socks 2 years ago, maybe three. I don't even know. And then I lost the sock, but I had the yarn. And then I was like, I don't know if, you know, I want to cast on the other sock because I don't have the first one and I don't know how long I made it and blah, blah, blah. And then I found the sock and I couldn't find the yarn. And so that was going on, off and on. And when I actually moved all the things from the studio, from the house to the studio, I actually found my sock blockers because I had the sock on the sock blocker. And then I found also the yarn. So now they're living together. Actually, I should take off the sock from the sock blocker and put it in here. But yeah, I haven't even casted on the second one, but it's gonna stay around here. Yeah, uh, with it. So this is sock number one. Okay. So then sock number two, I'm gonna try to go from the oldest to the newest ones. Okay. Let me open the project bags too. Okay, yes. So then I did this sock, which was a test knit for a friend, Gemma, and it was my daughter's socks by the Project Bag Designs. So if you go on Ravelry, now it's out, but be careful, there are two Project Bag shops. So I think one is a designing shop, and I think the other is Mortar and Brick, but I'm not sure because I have confused them by tagging them. So yeah, but it is my daughter's socks, and that is the sock I did, which is my colorways Requiem for a Dream with my Rainbowlicious colorway, which actually this one is my Asteria base, which has Stellina. So I'm really happy with them. Wait, I haven't blocked them, but I can put them on my sock blocker so I can show better maybe the pattern. I really liked doing this pattern, and as you can see, they're not vanilla socks. There's this cute stitching, but there was something that was confusing at the time when I did the test knit, and I actually had notes, but then of course I didn't start immediately the second one, and then I didn't remember what I've done, so I was waiting for the pattern to be actually published with all the notes to start the second one. And I actually started my second one, but my needle, because it was bamboo needles, they broke. So now it's living like that without a needle, and that put a stop again in this sock. So yeah, I actually really want those to make them because they're cute, and they're really cute, and I'm so proud of all the stitches, you know, of the pattern, that I actually did something that wasn't a vanilla sock. Yeah. So my daughter's sock by the Project Bag Designs. I actually really like those socks. I should definitely do the second one, and yeah, I'm not sure why I have it. Yeah, and I had also here notes and everything. And it's living in this cute project bag that a woman from that my partner from a fiber share did for me. And it's so cute. I love it. Oh my god. Okay, let's put the sock back in so we don't have any losing problems. Like I'm already susceptible to be doing. So I don't even remember what size of needles those were. I think 225. And actually, because what I have now understood is that because it was a test knit with a lot of, like with a precise pattern on it, I did first one sock. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I would have done them two at a time. But it was like a bit too confusing for me. So yeah. But I have now, I think, a solution about that on how making two at a time, even if it's a bit more complicated for me. So we'll talk about it in the pros and cons. Okay. Then I had this summer actually casted on my first ever self-stripe needles, and it is from Biscotte. Oh my god, Cecile, I don't remember. It is Biscotte, I think. Biscotte yarns from Canada, and Cecile from La Cabane Tricotée. We were together at a festival in France, and I saw some of her socks that she had done this very cute 5-2 ribbing, or 5-1, no, 5-2 ribbing on the front, and I really like it. Actually, I haven't been a bit further up because now I think is the time where I should place my my heel, but because it has, it's not really vanilla, I just think I want to place a scrap yarn where I place my afterthought. And usually my afterthought heel, it's funny because it's literally the length of my arm and of my hand, sorry, of my arm. Imagine the sock. So I think it's actually the good time. But I think I was traveling at the time, and I was like, yeah, when I'll be home, I will just measure it. I didn't have a measure tape, and I will put a scrap yarn. So that's why they're on hold. But otherwise, I'm really liking them. And the last summer was very, very difficult for me for many reasons. And I had lost my knitting mojo bag, and that's just the only thing that I was knitting, and I was pushing myself to knit. So yeah, and first self-striping socks, yes, they're fun, but as I knew, because I'm bored easily, it's that, yeah, when I've seen a couple of times the pattern of, the colors, I'm like, yeah, it's okay, it's gonna be the same, but I really like them. And I love this project because I also had taken in that time this beautiful bag from Petite Moutaine from France, and a beautiful pin. I'm not sure the creator of the pins, it's Marion something, and I have also the pin from Ellen Kalok Shake Ellen. She's on Instagram. I'm so sorry, Ellen. I don't remember the Instagram. She's Miss Lam Yarns, and she's very cute. And of course, I love this bag. It's orange, and it's about summer. And yeah, so that was my summer socks that I should get onto them actually. Yeah, my god, I actually really like all these socks. Okay, so then I don't know which one came first. I think this one came first. So this one is from the No, actually, I think I casted on these ones first, but yeah. Anyways, so this sock is the sock from the here I have it. Yes, from Bellota magazine. So if you don't know about Bellota magazine is a Spanish magazine that is translated now also in English, and I'm so happy that the editor Soraya did that. And yeah, actually, this is the English version. It's the issue number 4. You will find the most lovely, lovely, lovely patterns. And of course, there's also one of mine here. There's the Eartha shawl. Okay. But we can talk about the Eartha shawl another time. Now it's sock time. So she actually is the designer, Soraya, the editor of Bellota. So her name is Soraya Garcia, and the socks is the Muffet Socks. And here they are, simple and cute in all their glory. I love them. And because a lot of people were asking me about my colorway, I'm a grenade. And I actually have used this in DK to make my lollipop boy sweater. I happen to have a 50-gram skein, and I said, okay, why don't I do those cute Muffet socks? They're like almost vanilla, you know, and they have this cute little pattern on the front and in the ribbing. I made them a bit shorter because I'm using a 50-gram skein, and I was weighing it to make it, you know, two at a time, to have enough for the second one. I actually could have gone a bit longer, but I kind of, you know, I kind of tried them on and they were okay. I really like the pattern. I was debating to either do my classic afterthought because I could, because this is, you know, very a very simple vanilla structure. I could have gone all vanilla, but I said at that time, no, let's do it as the pattern says. And the pattern is perfect. I really like the heel construction. It wasn't that difficult, but as it was the first time that I've done it, I have you know, little bigger holes than usual. But this is totally, you know, my fault not being used or not getting tighter where I should have. I think that because of that, my second one might have an afterthought heel, but until then I might change my mind, you know, like really. So yes, so the Muffet sock from Bellota issue number 4 with I'm a Grenade, and it lives in this project bag. I don't remember who made it, and there's no sign of who made it, but this pouch was a gift from Natalie, and I really, really like it. It's so cute with the little foxes. I love it. Okay. And last but not least, there's a sock that lives in this project bag that has also a funny story. Maybe for another time. Maybe I should do a video only about project bags. Which ones I like, why, yeah. Why not, actually? That's a good idea. And I really love this project bag. It's really cute how this project bag happened to be mine, but that's for another time. So last year, well, not last year, so in October 2018, I was in Barcelona knits, and I saw for the first time the Mondim sock yarn by Rosa Pomar. So maybe you know this little time. So I ran through them like very early on, and I really like those crazy colored ones. But I didn't have the time, I didn't have my wallet or whatever. I didn't think of telling them, you know, just have one on the side for me. And so, the time passed and I didn't have the time to go get one. So this year, I knew that I wanted to try this yarn to make socks. And yeah, and through this year, I mean October 2019, the next time I went in Barcelona. I actually have just one other skein of the same quality. Just let me see if I can find. Yes, I'm sitting on the floor. But okay, I can't find it. I'm sure that it's sitting somewhere, maybe in another project bags. So I have another version that another colorway that's darker with speckly pinks and darker burgundy blackish like speckly thing. So I was very excited to find this one because it's just more bright. And for me, I don't know, for some reason I thought that there would be orange in it, but it was so pink. So when I saw it again, I was like, it has too much pink. I was finding excuses and I was like, yeah, but you like it overall and you're gonna regret not taking it. And again, I wasn't in a great knitting mojo still in the fall after my difficult summertime. I was still kind of bit depressed, not feeling all right, not really having a knitting mojo. So I was like, Liz, just take it and just and also in Barcelona knits this time I didn't had any project with me on purpose because I wasn't like feeling it. And also I have so many friends in Barcelona. I was like, take the time to relax. Not that knitting isn't relaxing me, but it's also, sometimes a part of my job. So I'm like, just chill and have a drink and talk and whatever. So, but of course, being with knitters all the time, I was like, why don't I have something to knit? Like, what's wrong with me? So I got one and I started knitting a sock. And I thought of doing, how they do just one very long tube and then they just do everything afterthought. I thought that would be the amazing thing to do. And it actually kind of worked because during the weekend, I think I had done already, I started not from this side because I was thinking of doing it, all the way. And I was like, okay, let's do the cuff. And then on the other end, another cuff. And then cut to do the afterthought heel and an afterthought toe. But at some point, I remember like I was really on that sock. And I think I knitted until here. So I was like, yes, I've got this. But then as I was knitting, the tube was getting too much on the way, and I'm working on a magic loop, and it was just too much going around. So I thought like, okay, where is it going to be? So I kind of measured where my toe would be, and then I just flip it through, and I said, okay, this is long enough, and I'm gonna be happy to have it. And then after a long while that I wasn't touching this cutie pie, and actually this was living in my bag, but I would forget that I have it with me, in the post office or something, so I wasn't really touching it. And because when now I'm at the studio, I'm working all the time. I'm like dying, or doing something else between the pods to cool down and everything. I don't have much time to knit between pods. Well, before, when I was at home working, I didn't have so much pods to work around, so in between I would knit a bit, and that would be the project that I would do. But now I don't have that, so I had this project just living at the studio, and whenever I had a bit of time I would pick it up. And so now I'm in the second sock. And here is the sloth from that collaboration, you see? Yeah. So I'm quite happy because they're not socks that have been a project very long for a very long time. And yeah, I actually have made some progress on them. And I actually really like them. Yes, overall they're pink, but I really like this neon yellow that cuts through and the blue. So I'm really happy that I did take them. Their feeling is a bit more sheepish, not as, as soft as the others, as my bases, but I think they're gonna be really sturdy, and I'm really gonna be happy on having them in the winter time. So that was about the show and tell of my socks whips. Uh, but yeah, I'm really excited with them. Even if I'm not a big sock knitter, I actually adore all of them. So what do I like and what I don't like in sock knitting? So what I like uh, is that I enjoy making them two at a time. Sometimes it's a bit difficult, when, especially when they're getting longer and things are getting, tangled and stuff like that. But it doesn't bother me as much as I think other people, might find that tiring. I would My favorite heel, the one that I'm most comfortable with, is the Afterthought heel, but I think it's just because I've done it so many times and it's just so convenient for me. Now I'm a bit better on placing it, so I'm not, um, scared. Not really scared, but I'm not at all. Yeah, I'm not scared on cutting on my sock, or I feel very confident about it, and I'm very happy for that. So maybe the next step is sticking, but then, it's different if you mess up this much of cutting in your yarn than that much. But but yeah, maybe that is a good thing, like I'm confident on snipping on my knitting, and that's I really like. But I'm definitely gonna try on making other type of heels, and I think I have an idea for that. I usually make them toe up because that gives me more of a sense of how big I want it, because I know, maybe it's just because my first socks were toe up, and that's just why I feel more comfortable. And because now I know where I want to put my heel, so then I know how much longer they're gonna be. But yeah. Uh, and also, because I learned to do them two at a time, toe up, it makes more sense for me. It's easier for me to cast on them that way than the other way. I have already cast on cuff down socks, and I remember it was a bit confusing, and I always need to go to a YouTube video to do that. But yeah, I don't think I'm that much bothered, but yeah, I will need definitely to follow the YouTube video to do them. It's not as the toe up cast on, like I can do it by myself like that. I remember it. I usually do the Judy's Magic cast on. Yeah. So what I don't like about socks is that you need two of them. Like, of course, hello. I don't even have mitts for that reason, which is silly because I could do just vanilla mitts or whatever. I also dislike them because they're small circumference, and I cannot really hold, like, the 9 inches needles, or 23 centimeters, I think they are in centimeters. I need a bit more of room to knit with those. And I also think that my knitting is a bit more loose when I'm knitting in a small circumference. And that's why I think I really need to go to 2 millimeter or 225 millimeter needles to have them as tight as I like. Yeah. So it plays, I think, a bit with with how I really like to knit, and I think it's because everything is cramped up. And if I knit as I knit usually, my hands are really sore after that. So and that's why I prefer magic loop, because it gives me room. So the solution that I am thinking and I need to try, except having them in magic loop but also doing them two at a time, is that I have tried the Addy Magic Trio, but I have them in bamboo and they broke. But I really enjoy them, and I think that could be a solution for me to have, you know, two at a time socks with a pattern, something different, you know. Or for example, if I had them to make the Bayota socks, the Muffet, that I could, you know, go and make one sock up until the heel, then the other sock up until the heel, then do the heel in one, do the heel on the other, and then go up. It's something that I really, really would like to do, but I need to get some needles. Unfortunately, in Greece, I cannot find my needles, and I always do my shopping when I'm at festivals, and those are needles that are kind of difficult on finding on even on festivals. And while I was in New York in January, I completely forgot about them, so I didn't got any. And I think that I would need to have two pairs of 225 and two pairs of 250, just, you know, to be able to really have the two pairs going on at the same time. And I think that's something that would make me, you know, go on, because it will be two at a time, but also changing something, you know, like I have one feet, one foot, another heel, another heel, you know. And I think that may be a cute solution. Or I just want to spend my money on needles and, you know, whatever. But I will take them with steel. I had purchased them in bamboo because I think it was when I was in France again, I got them, but they only had them in bamboo. And I said, okay, I will just try them in bamboo and see. But of course, they like, poof, I broke them. So, okay, last but not least, I told you that I was really happy on having my self-striping socks, but I was kind of lazy because, you know, I knew the colors that were coming. And actually, a lot of people are like, oh my god, I'm always so excited to go to the next color. But me in my head is like, I know what the next color is, so I'm not that excited. So I had a very, very nice lady that we did a fiber shirt together, and she sent me this cake. Unfortunately, I have lost the tag. I don't know who made this beautiful yarn. It's a self-striping sock yarn, but it has, I think, 12 colors or 21. I don't remember, something with 1 and 2, but I think it's 12 different colors. So I was like, oh my god, that would be perfect for me. And actually, that's what she thought, because she was asking me if I'm into socks. So I told her, you know, my whole debate that I haven't knitted with self-striping because I think that I'm gonna be bored and blah 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 or whatever. And she said, oh my god, if I can get you one of these, I'm gonna get one. So I have this for quite some time. I think I got this beginning of the summer, and as I told you, I wasn't feeling it. So I have it caked because I'm really excited to do them, but I want to find a simple sock pattern, maybe not just vanilla, you know, to get me a bit more excited also. and make them two at a time. And I just can't wait. I just can't wait. And I think my excuse for not casting them on, of course, it wasn't that I have like 5 other sock projects. It was like I don't have those needles, and I really would like to try this experiment with, new needles, new gadgets, and all. So if I'm going to be able to find whose yarn is that, I'm definitely gonna put it down here, or yeah, but I really don't remember. I'm so bad, and I'm so sad that I don't. So yeah, that was all my rambling about socks. Please let me know, how do you prefer on making your socks? Do you make them two at a time? How do you find the courage, the strength to do the second one? Or I was now thinking of maybe, like, as I have like a couple that I have the first sock but not the second, I was thinking maybe do, the second one of this project and then do the second one of that one. And yeah, I really find socks, they're so cute, they're so nice to knit. But they're also a bit of a challenge for me. So yeah, if you have any ideas, please do share it. I really wanted to get the Lane book, 52 Weeks of Socks, but I was thinking that I would go to a festival and buy it, by myself, like face to face. Unfortunately, the festivals are cancelled because of the situation we're in, and it's okay, but... And then I was thinking, like, Liz, do you really need a sock book? And so the first thing is like, no, but then, have you seen the photography in that book? Have you seen the socks in that book? They're so cute. And maybe, one day I will be a more prolific sock knitter that I would like to. So yeah, I really need to get that book. And then, because I was talking with some friends, it was like 52 socks, yeah. One sock at a week. And then they were like, yeah, one sock pair at a week, Liz. And I was like, yeah, but maybe I could have, 52 socks the first year and the other set of those socks in the next year. So I wouldn't be bored. It wouldn't feel, that I'm making them two, at the same time. And then they were like, Liz, you're gonna lose the first ones, and then you're never gonna get, the pair. And that's actually very possible for me to happen. Oh my god, I'm just the worst. Yeah, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this sock rambling, and see you next time. Love ya!